In this video, we're going to be going over some of the worst arguments against Hans Niemann, and we're going to be going over the Magnus interview at the end of this video, so be sure to wait for that. Once a cheat, always a cheat. Impeccable grammar, Matthew. Hans is a cheater, period. He admitted to cheating online on 2 separate occasions. He simply improved in his cheating abilities so he didn't get caught red-handed like he did before. Well, these two aren't very good arguments. They're basically saying that people can't change. Somebody cheated a while ago, they can't change. People make mistakes, they move on. However, it doesn't mean we shouldn't be more suspicious of Hans, potentially. It just means that without evidence, their points don't make any sense. Now, we should also note it's harder to cheat over the board in serious tournaments than it is just online. You can just hop up an engine and it's very easy, although they are both about the same level of unethicalness, if that's a word. Now, continuing on with our next comments, that is not true. The question is how did he cheat, not if. Cheater player. Now, both of these comments are also pretty stupid because, again, they lack evidence. They have no evidence. They just state something, and then it's fact for some reason. They don't have proof. It doesn't matter. Innocent until proven guilty. Well, he scored 0 points in the whole tournament. Think Magnus disliked him for his internet cheating because Magnus believed heavy in chess as an esport. If we're going to ignore the grammar in this sentence, well, let's just try to. And let's try to understand what they're saying. They're saying he scored 0 points in the whole tournament. I believe he's referring to the Sinquefield Cup, where Hans actually scored 3.5 points. And he's saying that Magnus dislikes Hans because he cheated on the internet. So that's why Magnus accused him, or heavily implied, that he cheated over the board because he likes chess as an esport. I'm not quite sure I understand this comment. I'm very confused. Magnus, Hikaru, Alireza, Nepo, the greatest ones see it clearly. Hans should be banished. Well, if somebody says it, we should totally banish them. Obviously not, we need evidence. And this is a theory that I've heard, the opening prep league theory. Basically, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because people are saying that somebody on Magnus's team leaked the preparation to Hans, and that's why he was able to get an advantage in Magnus's game. But you'd think that Magnus would know if there was a mole, or he'd at least suspect if Hans got this particular line from a mole in his team. But he's accusing Hans, so there would be really no reason to do this. He'd be mad at somebody in his own team and at Hans. Now, let's talk about the interview that Magnus gave. Basically, in this interview, Magnus didn't really want to talk about Hans cheating. He tried to stray away from this, but obviously the interviewer pried a bit, and he kept saying cannot speak on that. Now, what does this actually tell us? You can watch the interview for yourself. It's about 8 minutes long. But what we can learn from this is that he might be fearing legal issues. If he accuses Hans, he could get sued for slander, and he definitely doesn't want that. Basically, he might be worried that if he says something, he's going to get in trouble. So, we could assume that perhaps he's trying to gather evidence using an engine that Hans is cheating, but this is pure speculation. Now, please subscribe and I'll make more videos like this one.